Perfect. Waiting on notification. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than Sis Khadijah. Your mic is muted. Perfect. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Wa alaikum salam and Ramadan Mubarak.
And Ramadan Kareem to you and everyone who is watching. We're so excited to deal with a very important subject today. I'll let you explain what the subject is and why that's important in 2023. Sis Khadijah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brother Joshua, for having me back. I'm definitely humbled and honored by this opportunity. And for me, the topic is reclaiming the divine feminine in 2023, because anybody who has eyes can see that this world is on its way out and it's currently on its deathbed. There are calamities, there are natural disasters, there is crime. This is not a healthy world. And anything that is not healthy will have a short lifespan, whether it's a person, a plant, a tree, or a world. And Allah told us in the Holy Quran that he would place a ruler in the earth that would cause mischief making and the shedding of blood for approximately 6,000 years. We are nearing the end of that 6,000 year period. That means that we're at the commencing of the changing of worlds. We're in what the Bible calls the last days. So in order for us to survive the change of worlds, we must meet the criterion or the requisite for the new world that is on its way in. And I actually have to thank my cousin, and because we were looking for a place to spend our day together, and we're in a garden. And I used that because the minister was in the garden when he did the criterion. And that's what I would like to discuss today. What is the criterion for the new world? And I believe that as we reclaim our own, which is Islam, which is the nature in which we were created as the original people, not just of the United States or not just of Africa, but of the world, what is the criterion for us as women? You know? And I thought about it and I said, in the new world, I don't think there's going to be a lot of divorce. I don't think there's going to be a lot of crime. So what is it about this world that God doesn't like so much? That's what we have to figure out. Because we're taught in physics that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So 2 + 2 = 4. 4 - 4 = 0. Meaning if something is true in the positive, it's also true in the reverse. So if we know that what is permitted in this world will not be permitted in the world that is on its way in after the destruction of this world, the question becomes, do we want to participate in the hereafter, which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said for his followers is now? So how do we, as he taught us, sit ourselves in heaven at once? We don't believe in a heaven after death. We believe in a heaven while we live. So reclaiming the divine feminine is a prerequisite for the women. And we're taught that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So if we want this new world and this new nation to come in, then it must require the re-education of the Black woman, AKA the original woman, AKA the oldest woman on the planet.
Beautiful. Okay, this is Khadijah. People are showing you love already all across the country. My sisters Miriam and Naima both in the greetings. Thank you all for watching, and thank you everybody who liked, shared, and subscribed to the People's Podcast. Sis Khadijah, where does that teaching start for someone who's just tuning in and just meeting you? Where do they start about what should a woman know about reclaiming her divine femininity? Like, could you explain it?
Sure, absolutely. For someone who's not familiar with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I would say that I am nothing more, and I don't want to be nothing more than a student of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So if you like anything that I'm saying, know that it's not me, that it is Allah know that it is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And that's where I would say to begin. And then I also say, begin with yourself, because Islam is not something that you convert to. It's something that you reclaim. You can't convert to something that's your nature. You reclaim it. It's already yours. If somebody buys me a gift, do I have to buy it? No, I just got to go pick it up. But in order to pick up a gift, I must have what? My ID. And that's what the enemy took from us. The enemy took the identity from the Black woman. Think about who, I would say to a Black woman, to answer your question, think about who you were before this world told you who to be. I'm going to say that again. Think about who you were before this world told you who to be. How did the world tell you what to be, Sis Khadijah? Easy. People usually repeat what is celebrated. I'm a teacher. I've noticed that with my students. If I want them to do something, I celebrate somebody who's already doing it. So if I want them to line up, I say, oh my God, Jason's lined up so beautifully. Look at him. She's lined up so beautifully. And the next thing you know, all the other ones who are not lined up, I'm lined up. Because they want to be celebrated, because that's a natural human need. Everybody want to be celebrated. A person will always return to a place where they're celebrated. The problem is this world celebrates us for denaturing us. And this world celebrates the devalued version of us, the counterfeit Black woman, not the real Black woman. So to answer your question, I would say, who are you underneath everything? Who are you? So to ask, if they ask me, how do I start? Start with yourself. Start within, and know that the kingdom of heaven is within you. Think about you, your attributes as a woman. As a woman, you do what? You multiply whatever is given to you. If you give a woman some cooking instruments, she'll give you a meal. If you give a woman, in terms of people who are married, if you give a woman, and there's the act of procreation, a woman can turn what the Holy Quran refers to as worthless water, which is sperm, into the first cell of life, which is called a zygote. So a woman can always what? Multiply whatever she's given. She can always amplify whatever she's given. Also, look at our history. Look at ancient Egyptian history. Where was the woman? Was she behind the king, or was she next to the king? She was next to the king for a reason. And if you look at the picture, she was not just next to him, she was bracing him. There's a picture, I wish we could pull it up, of an ancient Egyptian couple, and the woman is standing next to her king, and she is holding him on his sides, on his rib. And the rib is what protects what? The heart. A woman, if you give her your heart, she'll protect it if she loves you. If she don't love you, she might break it in half and stomp on it. Especially if she's from Brooklyn. Lord have mercy. Brooklyn sisters, don't get mad at me. I'm one of you. But I'm just saying, you know, we Brooklyn sisters, we are unique. I leave it at that.
Wonderful. Okay, and both of my sisters are saying teach, and people are liking and sharing it. Thank you all very much.
Praise be to Allah.
Sis Khadijah. All right, now Sis Khadijah, my next question is, yesterday we spoke about you talking about the gender wars that's going on with men versus the women. How can we put an end to that in 2023?
We have to look at the person who did it. If I'm trying to solve a crime, I'm a police officer, I'm not going to the person who was attacked. I'm not going to the victim. I'm going to the perpetrator of the fraud. And the issue is, we look at Black men and Black women. We didn't start this war. We're the collateral damage. We look at who's the one. That's why the minister said we war not against what? Flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness. And so with the gender war, how do we end it? We reclaim who we are. The reason why we have a war is because we're at odds with each other. Why are we at odds? Why is a Black woman at odds with a Black man? Why is a Black man at odds with a Black woman? Because we're not playing our position. We're out of step. We're out of tune. We're out of harmony. One thing Brother Joshua knows about me is that I love the minister, I love bean pie, and I love music, in that order. And I love music. I listen to music every day. You can hear when something's offbeat, and it doesn't sound good. And that's the same thing with us. We are out of step with what God wants for us. God is the author of peace. If we are disconnected from the author of peace, where is the peace in our relationships?
mm, mm.
If you have a phone that is disconnected from the charger, you only can live, that phone can only live as long as the battery lives. When the battery dies, if it's not connected to the charger, it's dead. Not dead forever. But why would you let your phone die? You know? So to end the gender war, we have to learn our nature. When we're in harmony and we're in tune with the way that Allah created us, there is no gender war. Was there a gender war in ancient Egypt? No. Because at that time, we were not impacted by the technology of this enemy. Now, this started with slavery. During slavery, the Black man was taken out of the home. He was only used for intercourse. He was used as a breeder. He was used to sleep with Black women to create more slaves. And then he was picked up and sent to another plantation. So it took away the Black man's desire to be a father. The Black woman then had to step up and become mommy and daddy. It's not natural for a woman to take on masculine qualities. That's unnatural. So now, and as we talked about yesterday, the gender war is because some Black women exude more masculine attributes. Notice how I didn't say Black women want to be Black men. Because trust me, this was by design. This is not something that Black women want to do. It's what happened to us. So I don't blame any Black woman who exudes masculine energy, because this was manufactured years ago by Willie Lynch. And he said that this plan would last 500 years. He said that. So I don't blame a Black woman. I want to be clear on that. I am a Black woman's ally. I am a Black woman. So with that being said, the gender war started when the Black man was taken out of the home. When you take something out, if you have a table, right? Let's say you have a table that has 2 legs. Think of it like that. This is a table. One leg is a Black woman, one leg is a Black man. If you take one leg off, you're off balance. If I have 2 legs and for some reason I lose a leg, God forbid, am I going to walk straight? No. You need both. You need both. Then the US government was paying Black women more if they didn't marry Black men. They were literally paying single moms are well protected by the government. That's why that program WIC that was actually started by the Black Panthers is specifically called what? Women and Children. It's not WIM, women and men. It's WIC, women and children. The government backs women and children, meaning it's sometimes financially better for a woman if she just stays single or a single mom. So the gender war started in slavery. As a Black man was taken out, so the Black woman had to occupy 2 roles instead of 1. And last time I checked, we all do one thing at a time best. If I'm sitting here and I'm with you and I'm focused on what we're discussing, I will be more succinct than if I was talking to you and someone else. The brain is not wired to do multiple things at once. It's called scatterbrain. So neurologically, it was easier for Black women and men to function before slavery because we only had to focus on one thing at a time. Black man had to focus on being a father. Black woman had to focus on being a mother. But now the dad is gone. Mommy has to do 2 things. So that's a problem. Then in slavery, the Black woman had to breastfeed the slave owner's children in addition to her own. So now what do we have? Not just a single parent, but sometimes no parent, because the Black woman is so busy caring for the slave master's children that she don't have time to take care of her babies. So fast forward, this was slavery. Fast forward to 2023, same situation, except the Black man is not taken out the same way in slavery. The Black man is taken out because he's in jail. The Black man is taken out because he doesn't want to be a father. There's a study called epigenetics, which studies how trauma is passed down through genes. And I like to study it because I feel like it impacts us as a people directly. And basically, trauma can be passed down. And for so many generations, Black men were trained not to be fathers, but just men who sleep with women and move on. And that culture has permeated rap culture. All the rappers talk about what? Sleeping with a girl and moving forward. And Black people listen to music a lot. Most Black people listen to music at least 2, 3, 4 hours a day. That's programming your subconscious mind. So it's permeated the culture. It's permeated the TV shows. It's TV shows where the Black woman is a single mom, or the Black woman has a white man, or the Black woman don't have no man. What is that doing? It's programming us to think that the Black man is disposable and has no need, when in fact it's the opposite. So Black women who are now occupying the role of mom and dad with the gender war, they're starting to take on masculine attributes because they have to be mom and dad, and they have to prepare their children to go out into this world that is designed to kill them, make sure they don't make it into the hereafter. So to end the gender war, we have to get back to God and stop following the white man's instructions, period. Can't say we serve God and we don't go listen. The first part of serving someone is listening to them. And we've been disobedient. And disobedience, if you're disobeying someone, that usually means that you think you know better. And the Bible says what? Pride goeth before destruction. And there's destruction in our homes, which is why the current divorce rate for Black couples is 75%, which is also linked 75%. The earth is 75% water. A woman is very much like water. She can cleanse you or she can drown you, very much so. The body is 75% water. The brain is 75% water. Most of our relationships fail because we don't know which role to play. And when you play the wrong position so well, you become incompatible with the thing that God was supposed to use to make you the best. So to end the gender war, we have to get back to God. Simple. Get back to God. A lot of times we look for a solution that's so so high strung, and no, short. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, speak straight words. If somebody said, how do you reclaim the divine feminine? How do you heal gender? Stop listening to these rappers. Number one, stop listening to these people on TV. Who gave them authority over you if you claim to be God's girl? If you're God's girl, you need to listen to him. And start listening to God. And start looking at who we were before this world made us other than ourselves. Study ancient civilizations. That's what I do. To see how did Isis and King Tut relate to each other? Mm-hmm. They weren't competing. That's another thing. Stop trying to compete. And I don't want to say stop. I'm talking to myself too. We must stop trying to compete. A lot of times there's a competition, a secret competition between Black men and Black women. Because sometimes a Black man wishes that he was a Black woman, because Black women are a little bit more favored upon in this society, because through the Black woman, the white man can use his seed to steal a look into the hereafter. So we're a little bit more favored. The Black man, not so much, but the Black woman can be the field through which the white man, gets into the new world. And there was actually a story like that I heard at Savior's Day. A Jewish woman, she married a Black man because she recognized the minister as the Messiah. And she said, I know I can't come into the nation, but I want to be in the nation. And she said, I'm going to marry a Black man so that somebody in my family can be in the nation. People are fighting to get into the nation, and we dragging our feet. Lord have mercy. That's the thing. Satan makes us run away from what's good for us. And the Holy Quran says, have it with me. In the streets, I say you got to stay protected. I put it that way. I won't say it's something else. It's Ramadan. I stay protected too. So, in the Holy Quran, it says you may like a thing and it's not good for you. And you could dislike something and it'd be good for you. And anybody who's had medicine knows that. Medicine usually don't taste good, but it's good for you. Trials don't feel good, but they're good for you because they remind you of how strong you are. You don't know how strong you are when life is going good. You don't know who's in your corner when things are going good.
Perfect. All right, now, Sis Khadijah, we have so many more questions for you, but we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for all your random like, share, subscriptions, as well as Cash Apps. Thank you, everyone who continues to watch the People's Podcast and show love. And everybody saying yes, ma'am, and then bear witness to you, Sis Khadijah.
A camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out to him if you need any of those services. Sister Miriam's ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon.com. Sister Naima's Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studios of Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Kenneth's Bow Tie Maker Extraordinaire. He'll ship you bow ties anywhere across the nation. Dr. Henry Carter's King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad's COVID-19 Disinfected Cleaning Services, out of Chicago. Student Minister Sharif Muhammad's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, available on adulsharif.com. And lastly, Brother Joshua Muhammad's book, Cleopatra, as well as No Father, No Excuse, both available on Amazon. If you would like to donate or...
Perfect. All right, so Khadijah, we're right back with you.
Yes, we're right back.
Live from the garden. Okay, so listen, I had a question. So yesterday we spoke and I took one of the notes because I thought this would be something that would be profound, talking about the man's fear of being embarrassed in relationships. How can we work on that, like the public humiliation and things of people, nobody wants to, explain that.
Absolutely. Please. So we talked about what are the things that hinder Black men from being in successful relationships with Black women. And we said that some Black women take joy in humiliating their man. And I've seen it before. I live in New York, so I've seen it many a times, unfortunately. I've seen a woman arguing with her man. They might even be together. That may just be, I don't know, their significant other, I don't know. But no, seriously, no. But I know that they're together, and I've literally seen it where she curses him out in public, humiliates him, embarrasses him, and screaming louder than he is. Mm. And that is a sense of public humiliation and it's likened onto what happened in slavery. In slavery, they would publicly lynch or publicly beat or publicly humiliate the Black man in front of the woman, and his woman had to watch him be humiliated. That does something to the psyche. There's a reason why the lynchings were public, and there's a reason why today the killing of Black men is on the news. Sight travels faster so before I even hear you, I see you. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted us to wear suits. If you see a Black man in a suit, you know, there's something that's about this official business. You know what time it is. That's what we say in the streets. They say, you know what type of time I'm on. So you know what type of time the FOI is on. They are on righteous time. So publicly humiliate their man. It's like he may leave. He may leave. You could look like Beyonce. It doesn't matter. No man wants to stand beside a woman who constantly humiliates him and embarrasses him. He wants to feel respected, and we disrespect him sometimes. And I'm not saying that the Black man is always right, but I'm saying that in order for us to correct somebody, we cannot disrespect them. Because once you disrespect somebody, they stop listening to you. Mm. How does the minister correct us when we're wrong? Does he start off screaming at us? No. He says, I love you. You're my brother. You're my sister. I just want better for you. And then he'll get into it. So delivery is everything. 80 in communication, only 20% of communication is words. The rest is body tone and body language. If you are screaming at a Black man, cursing him out, don't you think that he gets that already from the cops? Don't you think he gets that from his boss? Don't you think that he might have got that from his mom who didn't love him? Don't you think he might have gotten that from a lady at work who didn't like him? Don't you think that maybe if he used to live a lifestyle, he got that from someone in a lifestyle he used to live? Don't you think that he's already used to that? And then what happens is we lose our attracting power as women because bees are attracted to what? Honey and not vinegar. If we use words that are bitter, like vinegar, the Black man will run from us. But if we use sweet words that are warm for the soul, we attract him, because this world curses him out on a daily. So the relationship is supposed to be a space of refuge. The Holy Quran says that you would know your mate because you find what? Quiet and peace of mind in them. How do you find peace of mind if you're being humiliated? Humiliation is the opposite of peace of mind. So we talked about it yesterday, and it's like, I see it all the time, and it's like, okay, I'm not, and I remember one time I even tried to jump in and be like, sister, you don't have to yell at him like that. And she was like, you don't know what he did. And just said, you're right. I said, that's what I said. Brooklyn sisters, don't put your hand in the coal if you ain't got no gloves on. But I was like, sister, I was like, sister, like, you don't have to yell at him like that. And some of us are so insecure to the point where if somebody's like correcting you, like, what, you like him? No, that's my brother. I don't want to see him humiliated in public. I have a brother. I would not like to see my brother humiliated. I have a biological brother, not like a brother like, oh, I'm Lake and that's my brother. No, my biological brother. We share the same womb. We occupy the same womb at different times. Like, so like we have to stop humiliating him. And she was like, you don't know what he did. I was like, you're absolutely right. I didn't say I did, but I'm just saying that why can't you correct him in private? Why do you have to do it in front of everybody? It doesn't that resemble slavery? But that was a long time ago. Yeah, but the past impacts the present. The mother of the present is the past. The mother of the future is the present. Got to get that together.
Excellent.
And guess what? He might have a son. You think his son is not watching the way you screaming at dad? And now that boy may grow up to hate Black women. Who knows? You may see him with Becky with the good hair, not because of the good hair, but because Becky understands that you do not humiliate your man in public. You think white women don't have issues with their men? Of course they do, but they don't let us see it because they actually love them. When you love someone, you don't want them looking crazy in public, even if they're wrong. My brother, when I'm wrong, he corrects me in private. He'll defend me in public, and he'll be like, okay, when we get in the car, like, all right, that was not cool, because he loves me. When you love something, you protect it. And part of protecting the Black man is protecting the image in which this world sees him. Don't say you love a Black man and you curse him out in the street. Don't do that. Like, you got a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on and you're cursing him out. Do Black lives really matter? What we say and what we do has to line up. Because the minister said that we're in the time of judgment. So when we say something, he said that if we're not okay with what we're saying coming back, don't say it. Period. Because we're getting closer and closer to the judgment, which we've already entered. Judgment is not just for them, it's also for us. And God has a right to judge us because we've been given a body of text over 90 years. So to go back to that point, we cannot humiliate our man, and vice versa. The Black man cannot humiliate the Black woman. I'm a woman, so I'm gonna speak for us. You cannot embarrass a Black woman like that either. And think that you're gonna come home and sleep in the bed. You've earned yourself the couch. Just know that. No. You must, the Holy Quran even talks about it. It says, before you are intimate with the woman, send some good. How are you going to take peace from a woman who just robbed of her peace? What? How are you gonna call her an angel and then put her in hell? Last time I checked, angels don't live in hell. So, it's like, what? So we just have to make sure that what we say and what we do aligns, because that's how we become more godly. When we say we're going to do something and we do it, that builds what? Trust. The more trust you have, the more respect you have for that person. The more respect you have, the greater the love is. Love is kind of hard to measure. It's like, it's a feeling, blah, blah, blah. Respect is easy to tell. Trust is easy to tell. I can't always measure love. I don't know. So sometimes I'd rather say, I trust you. I can say that I respect you. Because then I can say, all right. Because then you could be like, well, why? Oh, because you always keep your word. Easy. The more we make things spooky and like kind of all over the place, we do ourselves a disservice because we don't serve a spooky God. We serve a real God who is mathematical. Mathematical truths can be proven in no limit of time. Period. So I had to get one period in there. I'm from New York. I had to. It took everything in me to not put my hand across the screen and go period.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Sis Khadijah, my next question is for the people who are single in a world where we are being taught that everything is, why get married? What would you say is the benefit of Black men,
marriage,
Black women getting married? What is the benefit?
The benefit is peace in a world that is waging war against you on a daily basis. Simple. The Holy Quran says that you could find what? Quiet and peace of mind in your mate. What part of the world do you see people getting peace of mind and quiet? Let me know so I can move there. Like, what part? There's no part of this planet in which we live in peace because there's someone who's been placed here, a ruler, that is causing the shedding of blood and mischief. If you're at war and there is a war against a Black man and Black woman, wouldn't you partner? I can't be the only person that saw Creed. Like, I can't be the only person who likes that kind of stuff. I can't be the only person. I know it's not just me. I know there's got to be people who like Creed or who like boxing. It can't just be me and my dad. Shout out to my dad. But like, for real, if you know like what it's like to go into war, you want to go into war alone or with somebody who loves you? Because what you love, you do what? Protect. Why would you not want to be protected? Why would you not want to be loved? Why would you not want someone to share your life experiences with? This life is fleeting. We're not going to be here forever. Why would you not want to create a legacy that will outlive you in the form of a child? Why would you not want to replace yourself? Not even replace. We're taught that our children are supposed to be the better version of ourselves. At a certain point, we're not going to be here. Don't you want an upgraded version of yourself walking the planet when you're no longer here? Don't you want to send your echo into eternity? I know I do. Why not?
Okay, excellent teachers. My sister Naima says she loves Creed. Of course she does. She just saying regular. Shout out to Creed. All right, boom. Excellent. All right, my next question is:
why not?
You spoke about the signature of God yesterday. Could you elaborate like on what you meant by like the signature of God?
Absolutely. That was basically my way of like a litmus test. Like, people always wonder, like, how do I know if this person is good for me? How do I know blah, blah, blah? How much peace do you feel with that person? Do you feel at peace? You feel at ease? Remember, when we go into at ease, we're a spiritual military. When you go at ease, you're looking for what? Relief. Are you at ease or are you at attention? When you're at attention, you're ready to do what? Receive orders. Are you barking at somebody all day, giving them orders, or are you at ease and you're at relief in the relief room? Shout out to everybody who helped post in the relief room. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on now. So it's like the signature of God is peace. Wherever God is, peace is there. And I always know who's meant to be in my life by how much peace they give me. If I start to feel uneasy about a situation, that means that my time and that person's time has ended. Because the hardest thing to buy in this world is peace. Peace is fleeting. It's like elusive. So we were saying, if something is from God, you'll have peace in it because God is the author of peace. If something's not from God, you'll have chaos, which just comes in the absence of peace. So when we're looking at a mate, does this person put my heart at peace? Do I feel peaceful around them? Do I feel the need to prove myself around them? Do I feel the need to fight for their attention, which as a woman, you should never have to do? Do I feel like I can be myself around them? Because part of peace is what? Peace is the product of accepting your own and being yourself. The reason why this world is not at peace is because this world is out of order. Women are not being themselves. Men are not being themselves. Women are occupying more masculine energy. Men are occupying more feminine energy. And when you mix that with what's now legal in New York, weed, makes it worse. Because it has excess estrogen, and so does soy products have excess estrogen. So a lot of men sometimes have more estrogen, a higher estrogen count than their wives because of the foods that they're eating. So it's like, to end the gender wars, you could also add stop smoking weed. We might step on some toes, but you know, I'm from Brooklyn. It won't be the first time, won't be the last. It's okay. My toes a bit step. It's all right. It's not gonna kill you. So toes are a vital organ. You'll be okay. But that's the truth, you know, because it has excess estrogen in it. Stop eating processed foods. I ain't coming for just the wheat. Now I'm coming for other people too. It's like, it's because people are like, all right, why you gotta come for our friends? Who be like, all right, why you gotta come for my weed, Khadijah? Like, no, I'm also coming for Costco too. Like all that Cheez-Its and all that stuff. And I just gave away what I like, you know, Cheez-Its, but you know, little goldfish every once in a while, you know. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice, but is it healthy? That's another thing. Do you feel healthy? The minister said that bad relationships age you. I can look at a couple and tell how things are going. Look at Mother Khadijah and Minister Farrakhan. Don't they look beautiful? Don't they look younger every time you see them? Look at Mother Khadijah. Mother Khadijah is like the epitome, her and my actual mother, of Sister Barbara, from the beautiful island of St. Lucia, they're like the epitome of beauty to me. And because they're trying to be women, they're not trying to be men. Mother Khadijah, how often do you? Very rarely. She's not in competition with Minister Farrakhan. She accepts that is her husband's mission. And her job is to what? Be the help me. So what does she do? She went, the minister said, everywhere I lived, and she went before me and did what?
Made friends for her.
Made friends.
Yeah,
she did her role. So, but she's not trying to be the minister. She's trying to be Mother Khadijah. And a lot of times we change who we are. God's not going to give you peace if you're not being yourself. Peace is the product of being your true self, which is who God made you to be. So also, if you have to change who you are, or the way you talk, or the way you look to try and please someone else, when God was already pleased with you before the moment you were conceived in your mother's womb? No. So to answer your question, we're talking about the signature. God already gave you a signature. He approves of the way that you look. He approves of the way that you are. And then if somebody tries to change, why would you want to be with someone who's all to God's creation? So a lot of women sometimes, it's common on the East Coast. Brother Joshua is common on the East Coast because I've received feedback from Brother Joshua about how I come for Atlanta. And I do come for Atlanta, but only for Chick-fil-A because I love Chick-fil-A. And they're closed and it's Sunday and it's Ramadan. But let's move forward. So like, a lot of women get BBLs. Why? Because to be someone else. And a lot of women get killed. Self-hatred could be deadly. Some women literally die in Dominican Republic and Mexico paying for procedures because they can't afford them here in the States, and they pay to get different parts of their bodies either enhanced or enlarged, So yeah.
What would you offer to women who feel the need to get BBLs and or breast implants?
I would say, why? Why are you doing it? Why? And if they're like, because I feel like it'll help me get a husband. You want somebody who you have to change yourself for? No, if anything, he has to prove himself worthy of you. Why do you feel the need to prove yourself to a man? That's what I would say. Why? You feel like you're not enough? That's usually the reason why people change, because there's an innate feeling of unworthiness, and unworthiness of healthy love. Do you feel worthy of love as you are? Because the person that God has for you will love you exactly the way you are, flaws and all. Last time I checked, we all have flaws, but evidently God loves us because we're still breathing.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, let's also talk about stress. How important is it to us, to function stress-free is to the best of our ability? How important is that?
Absolutely. So stress releases a hormone in the body called cortisol. Cortisol is something that shuts down the parasympathetic nervous system in the body. And cortisol is only meant to be in the body for short periods of time. So you might have cortisol in the body if you're getting chased by a bear, something drastic, if your house is on fire, God forbid. But it's not meant to be for long. But when you have a woman cursing you out, you got a man cursing you out, you got a woman accusing you of cheating because she's insecure, you got a man choosing, all this stuff, it causes stress. And your home is supposed to be your base. Your base is synonymous with a charger. It's supposed to be a spiritual recharge. All Muslim homes should be sanctuaries or mosques. A mosque is nothing more than a place where Muslims meet to honor God. That's all it is. The mosque is not holy or sacred because of the brick and mortar.
That is not.
It is like that because of the people who are in it. So it's like, if I'm talking to the sister, why do you feel the need to do that? Who told you that you weren't beautiful? I'll ask her, who told you weren't beautiful without that? And was that person connected to God? Most likely not. Or is there someone in your head because you listen too much Nicki Minaj? I had to pause because I like her music. But you listen too much Nicki Minaj. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I did listen to her new song and I love it. But I'm going to have to order you a poster so we can put it up there, brother. But
I got Nicki. I got Pink Friday. I got Pink Friday up there.
I know we need Red Ruby the sleeves, brother.
Okay, you need a red. Okay, you need a new one. Okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying, what's your PO box? Anyway, you know what I mean? So it's like, who told you that? Are you listening to Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion and who else? Cardi B? Maybe those are the people who do you idolize? I would also say, who are your role models? Because if your role models is Nicki, Cardi, Megan, I listen to them, but they're not my role models. I listen to Nicki, but she's not my role model. And the real reason we feel the need to change is because of spiritual idolatry. We put people where they don't belong. You're idolizing another mere mortal like you. Nicki's not going to be here forever, neither are you. The only difference is she's more well-known. And guess what? A lot of famous people hate being well-known. Trust me, they would rather live a regular life. There's no difference between you and Beyonce, like, to the sisters. Like, there's no difference. Like, she's beautiful, you're beautiful. Rihanna, Riri, like, it's not that serious. So it's like, who told you that you were beautiful the way you are? And who are you trying to copy? And remember, a copy is always worth less than an original. Remember that. Stay original. Be yourself. You're always worth more when you're you. When you try to copy somebody else, oh God. Now you've lost your value. So that's what I'll say. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because guess what? There was nobody like you before you got on this earth. And when you're dead, there'll be nobody like you. So the time between your birth and death is what? A mathematical miracle. Enjoy it. Go have some fun and smile and be happy. And before you know it, your mate will be here. Your mate is also attracted to you at your highest self. Meaning your mate, you're not going to manifest someone who's good for you when you don't feel good about yourself. Make sure you feel good about you first. You want him to celebrate you. Do you celebrate you? You want him to compliment you? Do you compliment you? You want him to marvel at you? Do you marvel at you? Do you? Because then if you don't marvel at yourself, when he marvels at you, you're going to be like, what you marveling at? You're going to be like this. No. That's what I said. So people are like, what do I do? I want to get married. Love yourself. Simple. Because guess what? He'll recognize you loving yourself. And men can smell your self-esteem from a mile away. Trust me, I've learned that. They know who feel good about themselves and who don't. They know who takes some time to put themselves together and who don't. And what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you. What that has to do with something. If you put time and effort into yourself, that means you care about yourself. A woman who doesn't care about herself is dangerous. She'll let anybody take care of her. When you care about yourself, you like, I don't know. When you don't care about yourself, you let anybody have you. And no man wants what anybody can have. The man is stout after God. God requires what? Exclusivity. A man does not want a woman who anybody could get. If all I have to do to get your attention is ayo ma, you think he's the only person who's ever wanted to ayo ma you? No. So if you respond, also the minister said what you respond to is what you dignify and breathe life into. If a man ayo ma you, keep it pushing. Keep pushing. What do I have to respond to you for? You're not speaking my language. I'm not listening to you. Because you're not honoring me. If you're not honoring me, why are you here? Respectfully. Because I honor myself. So why are you here? God, look at how God has blessed us with all these wonderful things. If you can't bless me with something, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cut it short. For what? And God don't waste time, so don't waste mine either. That's how I feel. Straight up. So it's like God requires exclusivity. So if you want a man, like a man does not want to share you with someone else. And he don't want to share you with the insecurities in your own mind. Sometimes it's not somebody else. Sometimes it's the fact that some women don't feel worthy of they push the man that loves them away. Because of what he represents. He represents what they don't feel about themselves, which is love. So yeah. That's it. So, you gotta love yourself. People are like, I want to meet my husband. Love yourself. He'll be here before you know it. Be happy. Smile. People are actually more drawn to you when you smile. Smile. Do something. Take care of yourself. Give him something. He's a what? A maintainer. Man can't maintain nothing. You can't maintain nothing. Put yourself together so that he knows that you got hair, nail. Look at Mother Khadijah. Mother Khadijah don't miss. Edges on what? Edges on swoop. Nails on what? Lashes on what? I looked at Mother Khadijah one day and I said, I need to go do my nails. I said, oh Lord. You know what I mean? So I just looked at her. Remember, we're taught what? Where you see him, look at him. Looking at, are you, like, for real? Let's be real. Men like attractive women. Attractive women take time into their appearance. You never be, oh my God, that brother must have such a great personality. Stop the cap. Nobody thinks like that. Nobody goes, it was love at first personality. No, it was love at first sight. Let's be for real. So it's all about being real. A lot of times we lie to ourselves and we go, oh, well, I have a good personality, but that's not going to draw him to you. What's going to draw him is the way that you look. However, that wears off after a while because you're not the only beautiful woman, but you're the only person who thinks like you think. And if you think, the minister said, that you're going to get a man and keep him by acting like a temptress, you've got another thing coming. He said to the brothers, if you think that being a gorilla, he's like, that's not going to keep her either. Because guess what? There's always, like we saw in Creed, there's always someone who's a little bit stronger than you. Always. Always. It don't mean that they're better. The other guy, I forgot his name. The other guy was not better than Creed. He just, had a chip on his shoulder. But he wasn't necessarily better, Because people, like, if somebody leaves somebody, like, oh, they're leaving me for someone better. No, they're leaving you for somebody that maybe they like more or whatever, but it's not that the person's better than you. How can you be better than what God put a stamp on? That don't make no sense. How are you going to outdo the doer? That's a Nicki quote. But seriously, like, come on now. And then I got to hit him with a Jay-Z quote. He's like, how are you going to upgrade me? Like, what's higher than number one?
Yes, that's number one.
Lord, no. If you talk to any Black man from Brooklyn, that's how they all. But seriously, everybody should feel like that. Like, if God made you, what more do you want? So to the young citizens, if a man thinks he can find better, let him go. Don't chase him. Let him go. Because guess what? They usually come back. Let him go. And when he come back, you could just revoke access. So, don't chase. That's another thing. Don't chase as a woman. As a woman, it's because people are like, what do you mean masculine? It's not in the energy of a woman to chase a man naturally. Men are natural hunters. They go after what they want. If he's not going after you, I hate to break it to you, he don't want you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because why would you want a man who makes you act like one? I'm gonna say that again. Why would you want a man who makes you act like one? I wish I had the Mother Khadijah lashes, but I don't got them. But you know, why would you want a man who makes you act like a man?
Praise be to Allah. Excellent.
Praise be to Allah.
So people showing you love all across the country. Our sister Salima, we haven't seen you in a minute. I'm glad. She said Ramadan Kareem, all the way from Baltimore. Tapping in. My sister Naima says Mother Khadijah slays, edges included.
She does.
Teach Queen, my sister Naima says facts. Sister Salima says right. And Walaikum Salam, Sister and Brother Nelson from Massachusetts says, Assalamu alaikum, beautiful family. Walaikum Salam, sir. Thank you always for showing love.
Thank you.
Excellent. Boom. And on that positive note, Sister Khadijah, we're gonna, of course, if y'all don't know, Sister Khadijah is like family, so she'll be back on the People's podcast. But I'm glad that we broke down this today. You gave me a lot of stuff to chop up and post on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Allahu Akbar.
About the divine feminine and reclaiming it and all of that good stuff, what the men stand in our position and all of that great stuff. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for coming on the People's Podcast live from the garden out there. I didn't know that y'all had gardens in Brooklyn, by the way, or New York.
We do.
Everything was wrapped in subways and drive-bys and Central Park.
No. We have plenty of gardens. So that's another thing. I guess we could close on that. People go, oh, there's no more good men. That's not true. Or there's no more good women. No. There's always something out there. It's just, you don't have to, as the minister said, turn up the tombstone. He said that if you're afraid that he's like, don't turn up the tombstone looking for him, let God bring him to you. If you gotta chase him, that means he wasn't brought to you. So leave him alone. Period. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, like you said, just gotta listen to God. Like honestly, if you don't listen to nothing else I said, listen to God. Period. Like that's all I have to say. Because when you listen to God, you'll find peace. And then you'll find the person who will amplify your peace in the form of a husband.
Well,
all starts with you, because a nation can rise no higher than a woman. So that's it.
Excellent.
And
Sister Lima said she's happy to catch some live sessions today. My family keeps her busy. Yes, ma'am. And then my sister saying Joshua, because I made a reference to the rats in New York. All right, but I want to thank everybody for watching the People's Podcast. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off with the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. And Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. Walaikum salam.
And shout out to everybody in the garden too. Here we go. Boom.